Pentagon announces $800 million aid package for Ukraine, including cluster munitions. The package will include cluster munitions, armored vehicles, and other types of ammunition. Undersecretary for Defense Policy Colin Kahl announced on July 7. Next to the cluster munitions, or the dual-purpose improved conventional munitions, DPICM, the package will also include artillery rounds, ammunition for Patriot air defense systems, high-mobility artillery rocket system, HIMARS. Also Bradley and Stryker armored vehicles, precision aerial ammunition, and various other support equipment. Russian President Vladimir Putin, who describes the conflict as a special military operation to protect Russian security, has said the US and its allies were fighting an expanding proxy war. Ukraine maintains the initiative in its counteroffensive against occupying Russian troops, President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a joint press conference with Czech President Petr Pavel on July 6. "We are advancing," Zelensky said. "We have the initiative now. The offensive is not fast, that's a fact. Nonetheless, we are moving forward, not backwards, like the Russians." Zelensky arrived in Prague on July 6 with plans to meet with President Pavel, Prime Minister Petr Fiala, and other top officials to discuss defense support, the unfolding situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and the upcoming Vilnius NATO summit. On Telegram, Zelensky thanked President Pavel for Czechia's ongoing support, saying that with sanctions against Russia, military aid to Ukraine, and support for Ukraine's membership in EU and NATO, the Czech people are truly helping to bring victory closer. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the Czech Republic, Slovakia and Turkey a day after talks in Bulgaria to drum up support for NATO membership before the alliance's July 11-12 summit. Turkey's President Tayyip Erdogan said after meeting Zelensky that Ukraine deserved NATO membership and that Ankara would continue working on a negotiated end to the war. In Prague, Zelensky won a pledge of support for Ukraine to join NATO as soon as the war is over, and in Sofia secured backing for membership as soon as conditions allow. North Atlantic Treaty Organization Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg reaffirmed his view that Ukraine would become a member. "Our summit will send a clear message: NATO stands united, and Russia's aggression will not pay," Stoltenberg said at a news conference in Brussels.
Ukraine wins the battle, the war against the invading Russian forces. Because if Putin wins, that is not only a big defeat for the Ukrainians, but it will be.
The armed forces of Ukraine continued to attempt offensive actions in Donetsk, Krasny Liman and South Donetsk directions. In Donetsk direction, as a result of the competent and courageous actions of the defending units of the Yug group of forces, 10 enemy attacks have been successfully repelled close to Maersk, Severnoye, Yugodnoye, Kleshchivka, Pervomaiskoye and Vodayanoye, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy losses were over 420 Ukrainian servicemen killed and wounded, 3 tanks, 7 infantry fighting vehicles, 4 pickup trucks, 1 D-20 howitzer, and one Polish-manufactured Krab self-propelled artillery system, said Igor Konashenkov, the Russian Federation Defense Ministry spokesman. Operational tactical and army aviation, missile troops and artillery of the armed forces of the Russian Federation have neutralized 97 artillery units of the AFU at their firing positions, manpower and military hardware at 114 areas. Russia air defense facilities have shot down one Su-25 aircraft of Ukrainian Air Force near Odorovka, Zaporizhzhia region. 21 HIMARS and Uragan rocket-propelled projectiles have been intercepted. In addition, 13 Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles have been destroyed close to Vlikaya Lepetica, Kherson region, Pology, Konovalova, Zaporizhzhia region, Shipilovka, Lugansk People's Republic, Volodino, Valerianovka and Staromihailivka, Donetsk People's Republic. Lieutenant General Igor Konashenkov, the Russian Federation Defense Ministry spokesman, July 7 said, the armed forces of Ukraine in total have been losing 452 airplanes, 241 helicopters, 4,921 unmanned aerial vehicles, 426 air defense missile systems, 10,566 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles. Also 1,135 fighting vehicles equipped with MLRS, 5,370 field artillery cannons and mortars, as well as 11,493 special military motor vehicles have been destroyed during the special military operation. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces reported on July 7 that Russia had lost 232,810 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of its full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes 510 casualties Russian forces suffered just over the past day. According to the report, Russia has also lost 4,070 tanks, 7,944 armored fighting vehicles, 6,898 vehicles and fuel tanks, 4,330 artillery systems, 658 multiple launch rocket systems, 408 air defense systems, 315 airplanes, 309 helicopters, 3,652 drones, and 18 boats. Russia airborne assault units seize AFU strongpoints close to Kremenaya. After shelling AFU positions with cannon and rocket artillery, the paratroopers assault groups moved forward to capture and hold the AFU positions. Showing courage, bravery and military cunning, the paratroopers approached the militant stronghold from several directions, and, throwing grenades at the observation post, burst into the enemy trenches. The winged infantry moved swiftly forward along the fortification, destroying the enemy who tried to hide in dugouts or escape, said Russian Defense Minister in an official statement. The enemy did not expect such bold and decisive actions of Russian paratroopers, as a result of which a big amount of AFU servicemen laid down the weapons and surrendered. The Ukrainian servicemen who resisted were neutralized. Russia shows footage of destruction of the French AMX-10RC armored car in the Vremevsky direction. Two heavy armored vehicles of the enemy advanced in the direction of the positions of the 40th Infantry Regiment. Oncoming fire from the Marines' one-wheeled tank was hit, the second still managed to retreat. Another video: during the counter-battery fight, Russian artillerymen destroyed another self-propelled gun 2S-1, Gozdika, of the armed forces of Ukraine. The calculation tried to hide the self-propelled howitzer in the forest, but did not work out. In the Ugleda direction, the Russian scouts of the 40th Marine Brigade figured out the location of the enemy UAV crew in the settlement Vlika Novoselka, after which the tankers inflicted a fire defeat on the building. The Armed Forces of Ukraine shows footage of destroying Russian fortification area in Bakhmut district, Ukraine. This is what the area of operations of the 24th Separate Assault Battalion, ADA, looks like from a bird's eye view. One of the hottest areas of the Eastern Front in recent times, wrote AFU in the video. The Armed Forces of Ukraine, AFU, shows footage of training how to destroy enemy position. One of the most difficult types of operations is an assault on enemy positions. This requires careful planning and interaction between different departments in a constantly changing situation. The training of sergeants of the 104th Terror Defense Brigade of the Rivne region continues, wrote in the video. The Armed Forces of Ukraine shows air reconnaissance of the 47th Separate Artillery Brigade, together with HIMARS, destroyed the Tornado anti-aircraft missile system. The enemy can hide but can't run from us, said Ukraine official statement.